Hello everybody and welcome back to Stellaris, where we are a little bit afraid of the Deep-Raid Annihilators. I'm not gonna lie. Actually, we're more than a little afraid. We are not ourselves going to become Crisis Aspirant, but what we are is in need of a lot of construction over here. Now, I did queue up a bunch of these off camera. You can see our alloy count is a lot lower, but they're going to be low priority for a bit. So that is fine. As the terraforming of Atraitus 3 is settling down, we discover that the project has put us in an unanticipated situation. We did not need as many resources as we initially set aside to finish this project, and now have the chance to add on one additional feature to the planet. Our terraforming specialists have prevented us with 3 different options. That's exciting. It's actually presented. So let's take a look here at what this world is. This is of course an ocean world right now. It's actually going to be able to have all those agriculture districts once we settle it, but I think we're doing fine on agriculture for right now. It's mediocre on the mining. I would like for this to be an industrial world, but that's not an option. So I guess that we'll go with the generator districts, because those are kind of what we need. Did this not actually update? I expected it to build 2 generator districts. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe it just added 2 available. At any rate, that's fine. We do have plasma accelerators finished up. We are going to go for X-ray lasers next, and we're also going to go for, I think, engineering research from researchers is actually a pretty good thing to go for. We definitely want to bring our Empire Sprawl down. That's going to help our research pretty dramatically. This tech world over here, it has a reassembled ship shelter, so it can't properly become a tech world, but we can put in the alloy foundry here. That'll be fine. So no concerns over there. And as far as the scat station is concerned, we have a lot of work to do over here. It's going to take a lot of time, and the question is, when are the Deep-Raid Annihilators going to decide that we require purification? That's a good question indeed. Did we have any of those plasma throwers to upgrade? I don't think so. I think we were using disruptors instead. Yeah, that's correct. So no concerns whatsoever there. We don't really care too much about our star bases at this exact moment. And our civilian ships aren't doing anything too much either. We're mostly at this point waiting on constructions, and that'll be fine. Waiting on constructions, waiting on pop growths, and waiting on additional alloys to come in. Now, we are making a decent number of alloys per month. Our economy is improving. It's getting, in fact, a lot better. But it's not quite where we want it to be just yet. Now, there's a gateway here, that's fine. No concern there. We are concerned a little bit about the dubious abyss, as well as being concerned about hoggers over here. Although, that one we're not concerned about. That's right. That's in the Marish Archivists, which we don't really care too much about. We are full on food right now. We're just going to sell some of that off. Excellent. It is, of course, the Dristmach station that we're concerned about. But we're building some we're building some defense platforms there. We queued those up last episode, and we are not too concerned about the Destican Unity declaring on us, I think. I mean, they are belligerent, don't get me wrong. The Deep-Raid Annihilators have the entire galaxy on edge, though, I feel like. Yeah, there's a new Chancellor being elected. That's okay. Absolutely fantastic there, in fact. We can see what our new mandate is. We may or may not be able to get there. But we have improved our Empire Sprawl pretty dramatically. Our technology cost has been cut almost in half, honestly. And we can cut it in half again, which would be fantastic. This agro world here requires a planetary capital. We'll go ahead and put that in. No problems whatsoever there. We're definitely very concerned about the Destican Unity and about the Deep-Raid Annihilators. We fully expect the Annihilators to be far stronger than us. What is our current planetside mining? They want mining districts, 2 of them. That may or may not happen. We'll see. Hadrikas Prime does need a planetary capital. We'll go ahead and put that in. and that's excellent. We are still working on terraforming a couple worlds over here, and Gruner is a world that needs to be terraformed, but we don't have climate restoration just yet. Once we get that, then we'll be very, very pleased with that. But our admin cap is going to come up by 10 here, as well as our base intel level here in 10 months. So that's not too bad. We'll allow that. We do have these bureaucratic centers that should help with that once they start coming online. We are going to need a city district over here for sure. And let's check these others. This one's doing okay. This one is also doing okay. What is the cost of these? Rare crystals? We do have a decent number of rare crystals. We'll go ahead and get that upgraded. Physicists from the alien civilization on Zorf 1, that is down over here, have managed to split the atom for the first time. With the discovery of nuclear fission, the first nuclear weapons are inevitably being produced and nuclear power plants are coming online. The Vool civilization has entered the critical phase where they suddenly possess the means to destroy their own world with the press of a button. That is a significant development. We'll see if they survive the atomic age. They may or may not. We're not really interested in doing anything other than observing them right now. Oh. Our chancellor died already. Okay, we elected a super old chancellor. I guess that's to be a thing. So this is a continental world, and the Vool are... What are you? Mushrooms. Well, they are not suspended in a liquid, so we're probably going to wipe them out once they become a threat. Excellent. We're at 4.2k alloys, and to that end, I would like to think about building another defense platform here. We just didn't quite have enough to max this out. We'll do that. That'll be fine.
There is new information.
Okay, what is this one? We have no society researcher. That's something we need to deal with. And statecraft is, I guess, okay. Another decent one would be biology, but we'll take statecraft for now. And what is this mandate? Urbanizer. Build 2 city districts? That is going to happen. Assuming he doesn't die within, like, half a second, like the other one. Okay, so that's fine. Now, we're 120 days away on our Star Fortress here. We are working on Tribano as well, but that's pretty much all queued up, I think. What do we got here? No, that Tribano is the starbase. I wanted Hotram. So we've got our missile battery, gun battery, target uplink computer. We're going to need another missile battery and gun battery here, and we're also going to need a communications jammer. We can also think about queuing up the defense platforms here, and that'll be fine. We're lacking a few alloys to make that happen, but those being the lowest priority is good. We don't have the Citadel tech just yet. I'm not sure that these will hold. Hopefully they will. We'll see. We'll sell off a few additional of our minerals, and if we have to, we can always use the spare energy credits here to purchase alloys. That's not a big deal. So this Star Fortress is going to be done soon. And that will allow us to queue up more defense platforms here. So that is something to think about. We'll stack up the alloys for a moment. There's galactic bureaucracy finishing. That's very, very good. That does boost up our Empire Sprawl, which reduces our tech cost by like 2%. It's not a whole lot, but it's okay. I think we'll go for the ship upgrade cost and the upkeep reduction for right now. It wasn't a great option, but there wasn't amazing options available there. So we do need to queue up the missile battery and the gun battery here. We also need to queue up the communications jammer. And we're going to move these defense platforms down to the bottom priority for this moment. We'll also queue up a couple additional defense platforms since we do have the 12 defense platforms instead of the 9 available now. I think we're at the cap. Yes, we're at the cap here. Beautiful. So that'll be fine. We're at 93 out of 92 naval cap, 17 out of 17 starbase cap, and 476 out of 195 Empire Sprawl. These are all things that we need to work on. We're also going to get our planetary administration in here. I would like it if planetary administrator jobs also produced Empire or admin cap. That would be nice if they produced a little bit, but they don't, so that's fine. Okay, cool. So that planetary capital should be okay. After completing the terraforming of Ibluranda 3, our terraforming specialists have spotted a golden opportunity. The remaining terraforming equipment can potentially be repurposed as infrastructure for the planet. This is what I thought the other one was, but no. Let's see here. This has no special effects. Okay. So instead, we're going to put in an industrial district here. There we go. And then we're going to go ahead and colonize this. Excellent. So we have one more terraformation happening up over in Lyceria, and actually that just finished. A unique situation has occurred on Lyceria 2 just as the terraforming efforts are winding down. Our terraforming specialists have discovered that it's possible to tidally lock the planet. This also finished. Okay. This occurring naturally can be quite a detriment to a colony. However, doing it during the terraforming process could allow us to exploit the endless solar hours in the dayside will receive and generate an obscene amount of energy. We would still have to make a concentrated effort to set up the rest of our industry and housing on the twilight and night side. Okay, so currently this has nothing here. Intentionally tidally locked would remove the number of ag districts and mining districts by 3. And unlocks a special planetary decision to unlock this planet's full potential. I say we do it. I'd like to try it. So it is now intentionally tidally locked. We're going to go colonize that. And apparently there is this one as well. I forgot that this one even existed. We've got an atmospheric hallucinogen right now, which means that this would make a great tech world. Terraforming on Sugalia? We're going to go with Sugalia. Sugalia C4 has finished faster than initially estimated, which left our terraforming specialists with time to experiment. And the results are impressive. The planet's natural traits have been enhanced to be both aesthetically pleasing and utilitarian. So plus 10 amenities or plus 5% happiness, we're going to take the happiness, I think. So we're going to have a lot of happiness here, and this will make a great science world. Excellent. The Dystican Unity insulted us. That's very rude. We could take research complexes or research station output. Research complexes is actually fairly cheap. We're going to grab that. Excellent. So that is great. Let's check in quick on the progress in Scott. Yeah, that's going to be a little bit yet. And I want to make sure that we have all of our defense platforms here queued up. We actually don't. We're lacking alloys for that. And once we get another month tick here, we should actually be able to queue up another defense platform here in Hotrum. Will that be maxed out? Yes, that is maxed out. Excellent. So no more alloys required in the Hotrum station for now. Until more technology comes in, of course. Oh, we just got some additional intel, I guess. We do see a 13k raiding fleet, but that's the Vem-free warriors. That's not the Dystican Unity. We're not sure what their actual strength is over there. We should assume that the Neberite have a lot of strength. Wow. Look at how far down the Neberites go. They are absolutely the threat here. Okay. That's great to know. This fleet is garbage. But we need to work on our tech continually before we can do anything about that. We need a job here on this research world. And to that end, I'm going to put in a city district. We know that we need housing. We can actually transform some of these into city districts later as well. But what we really need is to unlock these building slots. So that'll be fine. This forge world here, we currently have a stronghold. And that is giving us some naval cap. But what we really probably want here is an industrial district. Tadaska, of course, has some tile blockers that we can clear off. There we go. We've got plenty of energy credits to make that happen. In fact, we should check for tile blockers on all of our worlds right now and get that queued up and removed, since we have time and we have the energy credits to do it. So let's get that all started. Any tile blockers will be removed, but this is one of the benefits of terraforming all of these worlds, is most of them don't have tile blockers. So that's great. Only a few tile blockers to be removed. This industrial world requires a job. Actually, it doesn't. But we'll build an industrial district anyway. This bureaucratic center wants a planetary administration. We'll put that in. Excellent. Haven Sky, we could definitely use a building on. And what are we going to put in? Well, we're going to go to an administrative park. It is very necessary that we have our admin cap continuing to come up. So that's important. And what do we expect the admin cap increase to be here for each bureaucrat job? Hang on. Bureaucrats are a specialist, and it's plus 10 admin cap. Okay. So this is going to get us some 2 additional, so that's going to get us like 20 admin cap. Okay, sounds good. Research complexes have finished up. We are going to work on, I think, advanced research complexes at this point. We want to be able to get our future tech faster and faster and faster, so that's going to be important. We can put in an agriculture district here. And that's completely fine. This science ship is not doing anything, and that is because its scientist died. We're going to put in a different scientist. It doesn't matter who. And we're just going to have them assist research. Excellent. Okay. We have some upgrades that can be done on some of these, including the Dristmach station, which does have quite a number of defense platforms. We did queue up a lot of those. We'll get some of them upgraded, because that needs to happen. Excellent. We've also got some upgrades that can happen on our Holden and Shukon stations, and we will go ahead and do exactly that. Once again, we have all of these ready to go, and that is magnificent. Okay, we're full on food, as expected, and full on minerals, as expected. We'll sell those off for now. We probably do want to start building defense platforms on all of our various defensive platforms here. That's going to be fairly important, and we're making a good amount of alloys. So we'll get half of these queued up over here. That'll be fine. What we really need is naval cap, but starbase fleets have been fully upgraded. I don't know why it's calling that a fleet. It's not really a fleet, but sure. I guess that's fine. And we have colony ships heading out to various locations. We're perfectly content right now being at peace. That is very good for us. This agro world here requires a job. And honestly, we have an open building slot, and I think we're going to put in an admin office there. It's not necessarily ideal, but we don't have need of additional agriculture districts at this exact moment, and we do need Empire Sprawl. Our tech cost is down to plus 107%. That's fantastic. We're very happy about that. And let's check in on our trade hubs here. So Gatana has finished up all of this. You can see that we're gathering all of this region here. We haven't had piracy issues for a bit, although we are expecting some piracy issues still in this kind of arc over here. This is our patrol fleet here. They're not patrolling over to Takim, which is honestly where they need to be. So let's just take them over to Faganinishad. And then we'll tell them to patrol, like, well, really we should have 2 patrol fleets here. Yeah, 1 patrolling from Charna to Bapagia, which is where these guys are going to go for now. And then 1 patrolling this trade route here. Now, these trade routes are surprisingly okay. We're not having major issues on those fronts. Piracy has reached its maximum value along here, and we can still optimize that. There's no doubt about that. But we do really, really need an additional patrol fleet. Unfortunately, we're going to be over our naval cap, but that's okay. We should be fine on that front. The Neberites insulted us again. We're going to pump out these 5 corvettes, and those will be done in just 20 days. And once they're done here, then we will have them... We don't really care about their upgrade status either. Where did they just go? Into one of these fleets. This fleet. Yeah, we don't actually... Well, group those back together. We don't actually want them here. We want to... Not the destroyer. We want the corvettes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. And then this guy, I'd like if we could just do that. There we go. Click and drag to move them in. And then we're going to have the Spinal Safit move into Ginog. And then they... Oh, yes, we absolutely extend our Curator research agreement. They are going to patrol this area over here, which is a pretty large area, all things considered. But that'll be fine. And these guys are going to move into Bapagia. They will arrive there soon enough. We want to patrol over to Takim here. So we'll patrol like so, and that'll help cut down on some of the piracy over here. Excellent. And then these guys, of course, they are going to patrol over to Charna. So let's go ahead and get them patrolling up to there. Excellent. Okay, so that will be better. I'm not going to call it good, but it'll be better. An improvement, shall we say. This bureaucratic center requires a specialist job, so we're going to put in an admin office, absolutely. This tech world requires a job of any description. We are going to replace the food processing facility with a research lab. Now, the food processing facility only gives one job. The research lab gives two, so that will actually solve this temporarily. We're also going to need a city district in here, so we'll get that queued up. Dupre needs a planetary capital. That'll solve that problem. Refit standards have been finished. That's great.
Establishing a new colonial.
None of these are super amazing. We're going to take Galactic Administration for the System Capital Complex, but we're not too eager to get that done. Like, it's not a huge deal for us at this moment. It will be a big deal later, though. So that's fine. This bureaucratic center requires a job, so of course it requires an admin office. We're now at 501 out of 266. Our tech cost is down to 93%. So that is actually helping us dramatically with these speeds. That's great. We're very happy about that. We also want to continue to work on our naval cap and our starbase cap, although those will kind of passively happen. There are also technologies that we can get for that, so really working on our, if I don't change my mouse DPI, working on our Empire Sprawl will also help our starbase cap and naval cap. So that's why we're focusing the primary efforts right now on dealing with that. So that'll be just fine. This Forge world requires, well, an industrial district, obviously. And this colony has been created. I almost right-clicked to dismiss it, but we, of course, need to get a gene clinic in there. Excellent. Okay, so we've got more colonies underway here. They're going to be done fairly soon. Scott is currently done with all of its buildings, and it's now beginning construction on its defense platforms. That is excellent. Hotram is also building its defense platforms. That's very, very good. There's our engineering research from researchers. Synthetic crystal plants isn't really what we're looking for right now. Empire Sprawl from districts, however. Yeah, that would actually reduce our Empire Sprawl by, let's see here, 12.4. Yeah, that's pretty good. We're going to go for that. Our districts are going to continue to grow, so that's absolutely something that we're very interested in. We need housing here, and we can also build in an admin office for later. This job will be satisfied by the city district, but that's okay. This bureaucratic center requires housing. Easy enough. This colony here requires housing. That's fairly obvious. We always need that one city district to get going. Okay, sounds good. The Hotram station is actually going to need to be upgraded. So we're going to cancel these and re-queue them in hopes that we don't have to upgrade all of them. The Rontori have displayed psionic potential. What a crock. Okay, so we're going to get this upgraded. We're going to need to upgrade this defense platform as well, I think. And then we're going to cancel these defense platforms and re-queue them just to make sure that we don't have to upgrade them later. Yeah. There we go. So the advanced research complexes are done. Oh, okay. It's getting real here. Okay. This is a problem. This is a big problem. Someone accessed the L cluster, the Buvondan Independent League. They beat us to it, but that's okay. Advanced research complexes have finished. At this point, we need to get, I think, I would go for the research station output here, and I think that's the best bet. Scientists from the Buvondan Independent League have managed to restore functionality to the L gate within their territory, beating us to it. We didn't really attempt. Unfortunately, this seems to have triggered an invasion of our galaxy by the cluster's inhabitants, aggressive nanomachines that attack everything in sight, and this is why we didn't go for it. The Buvandan scientists managed to shut down their gate before the invasion force arrived, but this only diverted them to the other L-gates of the galaxy that are now fully active. All attempts to communicate with these invading nanites have failed. In the wake of their passage through the L-gates, we have detected a repeating wideband subspace transmission emanating from the L-cluster. Put the message on screen. Decoding repeated automated subspace transmission. Establishing translation matrix. Alert. Message is heavily corrupted. Attempting reconstitution of message fragments. 3 message fragments partially recovered. Decoding fragment 1. We are the unintelligible, architects of the Galactic Gateway Network. If you are receiving this transmission, then we can only unintelligible that we are not too late. Perhaps one of our message buoys somehow slipped past the unintelligible and escaped the cluster before it was closed off. Do not, repeat, do not restore access to the dormant gateway in our star cluster. Under no circumstances must a stable connection be formed between the unintelligible and the galaxy at large. For the sake of all civilization, our cluster has to remain under permanent quarantine. Black access fragment 2. In an act that will inevitably doom our civilization, we have deliberately isolated our home cluster to prevent the spread of the Nar Deshav, the Grey Tempest. These self-replicating nanomachines were instrumental in the construction of our gateway network, but when their unintelligible had concluded, we found that they would no longer accept our commands. Through a hidden backdoor, our unintelligible managed to recall the machines to our home cluster, but the security hole has since been plugged. When they started harvesting our planets for materials, we knew it was only a matter of time before... Decoding fragment 3. The main unintelligible facility is the key. All of their unintelligible are routed through its subspace array, and without it, they cannot function. Unfortunately, all our efforts to disable it have failed, and we can no longer muster the forces to unintelligible another assault. If the quarantine of our cluster has failed, you must destroy this facility. As long as it remains unintelligible, the Grey Tempest will continue to surge unabated throughout the galaxy. We are truly sorry for unleashing this horror. In our hubris, And that's all we've got. Okay, so the Grey Tempest are going to be a big problem for us. First things first, we are going to reinforce this fleet. Yes, we're going to go wildly over our naval cap. We're going to need it. So that is step 1. Step 2, let's actually take a look at the shipyard here. Yeah, that's a couple destroyers, a couple cruisers. That'll do. Step 2, we are going to merge these fleets together. And we're going to take a look at this. We want this for now to be... Let's see. We want this to be at 10. 25 is okay for the moment. And then we'll just fill this up with 3 cruisers as well as up to 28 corvettes. We'll need to deal with that later, but that's okay for now. We will reinforce that fleet as well. We're also going to buy in a bunch of alloys here. We're going to reinforce that fleet up to full strength, and we're going to have to start moving up here. Now, I have no illusions that we're going to be able to defeat this Tempest Shoal. None whatsoever. Not with what we've got right now. So we need to think about what we want to do about that. Both of our fleets are maxed out for right now, or will be soon. Now, this one's going to attack the Scott Station, which honestly doesn't have anywhere near the power it needs to do this. I'm actually unsure if even the Neberites can handle this right now. The Destikans probably can't. 798 fleet? I mean, we don't see their actual fleet numbers. 2469. Yeah, so we're going to have to scale up our fleets very, very rapidly. And this is going to be interesting. I was not planning to fight the Tempest Shoal, or rather the Grey Tempest, right now. So we're going to take heavy losses. And we'll have to see how this goes. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings. And I'll see you all next time.